Hello, my goddesses. Thank you so much for coming back. It is your high priestess of the Temple of Venus here, Gwendolyn, and I have a part two of beauty as a philosophy. I'm actually thinking of doing a seminar on this. Now, I want to be clear that when I talk about beauty, we're speaking from an esoteric standpoint. We're we're using our ethereal world to manifest our physical world because when you have access to both worlds, oh, what can't you do? If you can master and manifest using your ethereal world and you can bring it into your physical world, I feel like that is the highest form of being a human. Like you've reached a degree of mastery. And so what I wanted to talk to you what today was about the sacred power of beauty and how it shows up in certain civilizations. As mystical traditions where adornment, elegance, and radiance were considered spiritual practices, these traditions could be given incredible, what's about to give us incredible depth. Um, so the first one that we're going to look at is the Greek cult of Aphrodite. So how the Greeks viewed Aphrodite. The Greeks believed that beauty reflected divine harmony. Followers of Aphrodite practice bathing rituals, and that's what I tell you guys to do too. Go to your local botanica and get your bathing rituals stuff, light some candles, take your manifestation baths because you deserve it. Perfume on the body, adorning themselves with jewels, wearing flowing garments, and it can be seen as vanity. It can be both because the concept of beauty in the ethereal sense is vast, right? It doesn't just end here. It might be vanity, it might not be vanity, but it is a way to honor the goddess through the body. Philosophers like Plato argued that beauty was a ladder to the divine. Where you see beauty, your soul remembers perfection. It, I feel like beauty, he talks about, I think it was Plato or Socrates, but they talk about forms and where the most beautiful things that exist is really in the heavens, right? As above, so below. So the things that are above in the ethereal space are they in there they're the most beautiful. It's the most intelligent. That is where everything exists in the ethereal space in the most beautiful form that you could even imagine. And only a small percentage of it actually makes it to Earth. So we are seeing a small percentage of our actual beauty around us, of the beauty that's around us. The next one is Egyptian beauty. They saw beauty as divine alignment. In ancient Egypt, beauty rituals were considered spiritual protection. Queens like Nefertiti used to use eyeliner, scented oils, elaborate wigs, gold jewelry. They symbolize divine protection, cosmic balance, and royal authority. Even makeup was seen as had a spiritual meaning. They believed that their eyeliner protected them against evil spirits and um, disease. And adornment meant you were aligned with the divine order. Then there's the Renaissance beauty. So during the Renaissance, beauty was considered evidence of divine mathematics. Look at that. Ah. Artists believed harmony in the body reflected universal order. And the most beautiful example would be the birth of Venus. Now, is Venus actually beautiful? Is she not beautiful? That doesn't even matter. What does she represent? She represents beauty. And that's why I do not believe that any woman, and I only speak for women here because we're the Temple of Venus, but I don't believe any woman is ugly. I do believe that there are some women that have lost themselves, that have lost their souls, but is a lost soul an ugly soul? No, it's not. They just have to find what makes them feel beautiful and anchor themselves in that, and then their beauty will resonate out. And I'm sure you've met people that you thought were really cute or you thought were really beautiful. You got to know them and then you didn't really like them because it's a lot more than just physical appearance. But Venus represented, back to the birth of Venus, Venus represented grace, fertility, artistic inspiration, and divine femininity. Women were portrayed as almost mythological beings, which we are mythological beings. That's why I call us goddesses. Beauty was seen as civilizational inspiration, as it should be. You know, that is why we have all the architecture that we have now. And in Indian culture, it's Shakti. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. In Hindu philosophy, feminine beauty represents cosmic energy. The divine feminine is called Shakti. Goddesses like Lakshmi, please correct me if I'm not saying this right, represents prosperity, elegance, harmony, and abundance. Adornment practices include gold jewelry, silk clothing, fragrant oils, elaborate hairstyle. Beauty is seen as the physical expression of spiritual energy. I think also that it's so beautiful to read about these cultures that are allowed to express their form of beauty, because I think, you know, now we have a culture that, you know, really celebrates Lululemon. And that there's nothing wrong with Lululemon, you know, get your Lululemon on. But I miss when we could express ourselves in different way, and when we learned different things. Like I really miss like the 2000s makeup artist. Why? Because there were so many different makeup styles. Now I think everything is like in nudes or something. But we want more. Let's bring that back. So in Japanese aesthetics spirituality, Japanese aesthetics treat beauty as as a emotional atmosphere. Philosophy like wabi sabi, beauty in imperfection, yuen, mysterious elegance. Even the tradition of the geisha emphasized grace, elegance, refinement, artistic presence. Beauty was also about energy, presence, not just. So, even looking at geishas and how they moved around. And, you know, I'm thinking about some African tribes where, like, you know, you're the most beautiful if you have a big round you know, the like it looks like a stone inside your lip. Like that's their perception of beauty in their world. That's beautiful. They, some of them have their teeth shaved like little triangles in their world. That's beautiful. There are women that have these necklaces with long necks. Like so I'm not into like strong like body modifications, but I think modification and beauty kind of go hand in hand. I don't recommend it. I think that you are beautiful as is. But what I am saying is like the external part, like the dressing up. And I want you to know that beauty is in every culture, just expressed differently. And in their mind, there is an ideal. Remember, the forms in their ethereal space is an ideal form of that beauty. So I will say it again, there is no such thing as an ugly woman. There is, all of us are ethereal beings. Even the word glamour originally meant magical enchantment. In medieval Scotland, glamour meant a spell that made someone appear radiant or otherworldly. And that's why we create so much noise around celebrities. That's why, you know, we have a really strong hold on like what celebrities should look like, what they should be like. And not that I agree with that, because I think we should not all be indoctrinated by the internet. Even though I'm on the internet, but please go outside and, you know, read different books. Don't just watch my channel. Long as beauty is around, it will inspire admiration, fascination, and inspiration. Beauty is not trivial. Beauty is a powerful symbolic language that represents harmony, divine energy, inspiration, order, and life force. And it can have a really strong psychological effect on society. So beauty is not shallow, it's evolutionary, and it creates social influences. I'm just reading some like minor notes here. Um, well, I'm gonna stop there and I want to know what you guys think about what I just said. And like I said, I think I'm gonna read some books. Oh, let me give you guys some books that I'm gonna read and explore this concept because this is really like the foundation of the Temple of Venus, helping women find themselves and be their best version of themselves possible using manifestation. So manifest the things that you want in your life because you deserve it. Your soul is calling for it. And so you should have it. Why not? Why not have it? So the books that like I'm going to get and read is On Beauty, Women Who Run with Wolves, Beauty by Crispin Sartwell, Feeling Beautiful, Neuroscience, Awakening Shakti, In Praise of Shadows, because this combines philosophy, spirituality, science, and divine mythology. So if you are interested in reading those books with me, definitely let me know. I plan on reading them and come hopefully coming back and sharing with you some of the knowledge because, you know, I want us to all, like I said, all have this sense that we are goddesses and that we are beautiful. Well, that's it for today, guys. I will see you on my next video. And as always, it is done. Bye.